Hey there guys, how's it going? It's Jules and welcome to our Conscious Talk series. I think this is number 4 or number 3 or number 4. I think it's number 4. And this is where I talk for at least 20 minutes about... So I'm just trying to get something off my screen. There we go. I talk for like 20-25 minutes about just whatever comes to mind. And it's not just something random. It's skewed and it's focused and it's tailored towards the conscious being. The conscious being is someone who meditates, someone who is raising their consciousness. Maybe they're taking psychedelics, maybe they're hanging around better people. It's also about personal development. But a conscious person is someone who raises their consciousness. And you raise your consciousness by putting your attention on the present moment. And you put your attention on the present moment by that's what meditation is. Putting your attention on the present moment. It's pretty fucking simple. So, alright. I'm just trying to think what I'm going to talk about in this one. So what you want to do. So basically, the inside is primary, the outside is secondary. Whatever you do on the inside is going to reflect on the outside. So if you become fearless on the inside, you're going to start doing things like facing fears on the outside. But you can kind of go from the outside in, but it's a lot harder. It's a lot easier to raise your consciousness from the inside out. The outside in would include facing fears, hanging around different people, changing your environment, making more money, going to the gym, eating healthy, taking supplements, dating, just like the normal stuff that people do, but just like making that better and better and letting that go exponential. So you can do it that way, or you can do it from the inside out. Now the inside out is a lot better because basically the outside in path to enlightenment or spiritual development or raising your consciousness is loving people. But that's the arduous path. You want to love people, but you don't want that to be your only thing that you do that raises your consciousness. You want to, because what's going to happen is if you don't go from the inside out, everything's just going to affect you on the outside. You're going to be adapting. You're going to lose the moment, bring it back, lose the moment, bring it back, but you're not going to really be doing much meditation. Meditation is about bringing your attention back again and again and again and again, earnestly, just seriously, just doing it very seriously, without a hint of seriousness, because seriousness is a disease of the mind, as Eckhart Tolle says. It's like the number one disease of the mind. And as Tiger Singleton, the spiritual teacher on YouTube, check him out, he does sessions. His technique is not taking the mind so seriously. So so meditation. Okay, so another thing you can do on the outside is slow down. The slower you go, the faster you go spiritually. But you're going to be in circumstances where you can't slow down, or situations. So you're going to be adapting. It's going to depend on the outside, what you do on the outside. But if you want to change the outside faster, you go on the inside path, the inner path. And if you don't understand how God, spirituality, meditation, and consciousness are all connected, and personal development, it's because everything is the same, one singularity. So it's all one. And I don't realize this to the deepest degree, but I know enough to know that these things that I'm saying are true because I've experienced them in small amounts. So I know enough to know they're true. Meditation is being conscious. God is consciousness. And if God is one and one is everything, then personal development is God, personal development is consciousness, personal development is meditation. So it's all connected. Everything's connected to everything. But some things are more strongly connected than other things, and other things are more weakly connected to other things. So basically what you want to do is just keep bringing your attention back to the present moment. And at first, it's just going to be oh, this is what meditation is, I didn't even know. And then you'll lose it, and you might lose it for like a day, but then you'll bring it back like at the end of the day. When you're like just about to go to bed, you're like, fuck, you're gonna realize that you weren't as present as you could have been. But that's how it is. The mind has so much momentum at that stage that's what's got to happen. So you keep bringing it back, and then the next day you bring it back twice, in the morning and at night. And the next day it doubles and doubles and doubles and compounds and compounds and compounds and goes exponential. Exponential is like the curve that goes like that. So it's like nothing and then bam, all at once. As Tony Robbins says. He's like, it's very slow and then bam, all at once. Anyway, I highly recommend, if you're interested in raising your consciousness, one of the best things you can do for your consciousness on the outside in is hang around people who have high consciousness. Even if they're on a YouTube video, the energy transmits through the through the screen into your energy field. So, and one of the people with the greatest energies is Eckhart Tolle, but the person with probably the best energy in the world at the moment is Leo Gura. So Leo Gura is the founder of actualize.org. He's fully enlightened. He takes psychedelics. He's had over 100 trips, well over 100 trips, I believe. Yeah. And he's like, the most conscious being on earth. You can also message him on his forum and get a direct answer. I've messaged him many times and I always get an answer from him. Not always, but mostly. So, alright. So that's the best thing you can do on the outside. So check out Eckhart Tolle's videos. Just listening to him will bring you into the moment. Kyle Cease is good. Rupert Spira, Adyashanti. Michael Singer. The Buddha. Just read the Buddha's teaching. Read Jesus' teaching. Who else? Some business guys are actually pretty good, but most business people are more or less corrupt. But this is what we need. We need we don't need that, but what I'm saying is what we need. He was high-fiving my head. We need conscious business people. So we need to raise our consciousness. You need to start a business. Dude, if other people in the past are less fortunate as you and they've done better than you, that means you can do it. So you can start a business. You can easily start a business. The business is a reflection of the founder. So if you're conscious, it's going to be a conscious business. You're going to attract conscious people, because consciousness is the trend that's booming at the moment. The trend that nobody's talking about is the consciousness trend. People are meditating more. People are raising their consciousness more. People are awakening more. And how is awakening? Awakening is coming out of the dream of thought, trains of thought, back into the present moment. So trains of thought. That's the best technique I know. Is looking. Looking is the best technique, but just saying to yourself, don't get lost in a train of thought. Because if you just say, don't think, you're gonna be like, oh fuck, I'm thinking, oh no, every little thing. But if you just bring it back to the moment and say, don't get lost in a train of thought. A train of thought is when those little thoughts connect to other thoughts, and then those thoughts connect to other thoughts, and you get lost. You started thinking about the walk, and then you start thinking about other things that were completely like unconnected, and then you lose the moment for like 10 minutes, but then you bring it back and your consciousness is stronger. So don't be annoyed that you lost it, be grateful that you came back. And these techniques, all these little like sayings, they're important, but you got to drop them eventually, so you'll just naturally be grateful for everything after a while. But yeah, I'm gonna turn around. It's like, you say these things and they're true, but you don't like remind yourself of them, because that's just reminding. That's just going back into dream of thought. And even if it's positive, like, it's still ego if you're thinking, which leads to negativity. because a little bit of ego leads to more ego if you let it, and more ego leads to negativity, because negativity comes from overthinking, and overthinking comes from egos that connect. But what you want is you want to do a full 180 and flip it and do moment connects, and let each moment connect with the next one. So what you want to do is do 2 to 5 seconds of silence as many times in the day as you can. That's completely achievable. Anyone can do that, 2 to 5 seconds. You just got to want it bad enough. That's what it all comes down to. You just want it bad enough. If you want it bad enough, you'll do it because you want it. But yeah, so basically just bring your attention back to the moment and just try and abide. Abidance is the name of the game. I know I've said like, oh, it's this, it's all of these things, but just so become present and just notice the beauty. Whenever there's beauty around you, go straight for that. If you like my stuff and you're in like Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, I'm gonna be doing a like public speaking. I want to do it at least once a year. And yeah, it's going to grow my business, and yeah, I'm probably going to make some money from it, but that's not what it's about. I only make money so I can survive, so that I can do more of what I love, which is making music, meditating. The 2 M's. Whoop. High five again, man. So what you do, you bring it back and you say to yourself, because if you're going to think, the only time you should ever really think, like if you need to think, you'll think. But if you really intentionally need to think, it'll just be about having a technique. Is thorn to remove a thorn, then you both put both thorns away. In other words, it's a thought to remove other thoughts, and then you throw both thoughts away, all thoughts away. But but I know people who are enlightened who still use techniques. I know there's one guy who still uses techniques and he's enlightened, but maybe he's not as enlightened as, I don't know. Anyway, what'll happen is you'll start meeting more conscious people, because you attract what you are. So as you raise your consciousness, you're going to start to attract better and better people. You're going to get more and more clarity of mind, which Ajay Spina says is like the most important thing. You don't need people, you don't need this, you don't need that, you just need clarity of mind. And you get that by clearing your mind, because consciousness is like a gurney. If you don't know what a gurney is, it's like a gun that shoots water where you clean your car with. It gurneys like all the grout and all the dirt and all the grime in your little in the mind, basically, and then it gets rid of it all, and then you're just left with clean consciousness, because consciousness cleans up instantly. It's just the energy takes time to change slowly. So you'll get rid of thoughts instantly, but then the emotion might stay for a little bit, and then the energy might stay for a little bit more, but then it just gets cleaner and cleaner and cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, until you're the cleanest you can possibly be. And this is what enlightenment is: being so clean that there's nothing but clean. Anyway, I know enough to know this is true. So it just gets so damn good. Like, you're looking around and everything's just beautiful. You could be looking you could be looking at a fucking, excuse my language, but like a turd or a shit in the toilet, and it could be beautiful. Because it's just everything's made of the same thing, and when you do the inner path, when you go on the inside, everything else cleans up from the inside out. So that's my talk about consciousness and meditation. How are you? Let's talk about you. How are you today? Yeah, good. That's good. You been meditating much? Yeah, a little bit here and there. Oh, that's good. If you're not okay, hit me up. We'll go to a session. I'm doing them completely for free. You got to start for free. That's what Alex Hormozi says. If you want good business advice, go to Alex Hormozi. But what's going to happen is you're going to want to listen to just positive people, and on the whole journey, you just want to listen to positive people and listen to conscious people, people who meditate, people who are highly conscious. But what's going to happen is you're going to get so conscious that you can take gems away from like anyone. What happens is you don't just listen to the examples of what to be, you listen to the warnings of what not to be. So you could be listening to someone who's really negative and be like, and get like a mad insight into how they're thinking, how people think, how psychology works. And then you won't mind who you're with or where you are. You'll just be happy. And you'll just trust, and you won't mind what happens. Is Jiddu Krishnamurti says his secret is he doesn't mind what happens. So anyway, so just know that everything's going to be okay, because the mind's going to it tries to like hook your attention and like take you away. But if you just don't get caught in a train of thought, and it's a good quote because it's so easy to understand. A train of thought, like everyone knows what that is. But most people haven't connected the dot and gone, oh, that's meditation. Not getting caught in those things. Most people don't know what meditation is. And if they do, they're like, yeah, I don't have time for it. But I'm like, number one, you got time to worry, you got time to meditate. Number two, that's a misunderstanding of what it is. Meditation is about putting your attention on the present moment no matter what you're doing. No matter what you're doing. Sorry. It's like, it's funny. I got a cool face. I like my face. Anyway, that was so arrogant. That was so cocky and arrogant. Anyway, it's okay to be like a little bit like healthily confident, obviously. But yeah, you got to love yourself no matter how you look. And I haven't quite understood the connection between like loving yourself and then loving others. I think you do both at the same time and bring them up. But if you love yourself, then that's the most important thing, because then that's when you can change. That's how you can change yourself, if you love yourself. But yeah. Anyway, so alright, we're approaching 20 minutes. Man, I didn't really feel like shooting this, but then I just did it, and now I'm feeling great. I'm really glad I did. You just got to get outside your comfort zone like crazy, guys. This is from the outside in. You want both. You want do the inside game, the inside purpose, so that you can fulfill the outside stuff. Jesus, that's loud. You want the outside stuff, get the inside right, and the outside will just fall into place. So yeah. Right, we've got 2 minutes. Let's make this mad. So if you're not okay, hit me up on Instagram, comment on YouTube, join my community and message me. And I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'm always on my phone, so I mean, not when I'm meditating. I mean, if I am on my phone, I usually try and meditate. One of the best meditations you can do with your phone is, if you're looking at it, notice the peripheral vision around the phone, so you're not getting drawn into the screen and losing the moment. It's like when you watch a movie, you get so invested in it, you forget it's a movie, and you start reacting to it. That's like what happens with consciousness and meditation. You get caught in the world. Be in the world, but not of it. This is what he meant when he said that, Jesus. Yeah. You may disagree with that. You may be like, how do you know what Jesus said? Because I've studied this stuff for so long that you just start to know, and you just start to be able to tell the difference between people who are genuine and people who aren't, people who are authentic and people who aren't, people who are intelligent and people who aren't, because they challenge the way you think. They say stuff that just clicks, and it's just smart, and it's just, yes, it's like, oh my God, yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I did my best to try and add as much value as I possibly can. And look after yourself. You got this. Message me. Let's get a session going. I got to practice. I can go into that, but I won't go into that right now. Anyway, I mean, what I was going to say is, like, you don't need to practice. I mean, yeah, like, you do get better with practice, but with meditation, you're naturally good at everything because you got the beginner's mind. And you're not trying to think and plan and strategize and be like, oh, in here I'll do this, and in here I'll do this, and in here I'll do this. You just know what to do. You're just present and you know what to do. And because if you keep just reminding yourself, that's more ego, and it's just going to lead to suffering. Do you want suffering? No. Do you want suffering? No. So meditate. Sorry, I don't mean to be like forward like that, but anyway, I hope you're okay. If you're not, hit me up. I really want to help you, okay? I really want to help people. I genuinely have a good heart, and I just got to get this going. We've got to bring world peace as soon as possible. We've got to raise our consciousness so the next generation is that much more consciousness, so then the generation after them is more conscious, and it just goes up and up and up. So you're doing something very important by raising your consciousness and the collective as a whole. So, alright, love you guys. You got this in the bag. I believe in you. Let's go.